It's a great day. My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur, and welcome to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue focused late night show in the country where we are on a mission. And our mission really is to empower, our mission is to inspire, and our mission at the end of the day is to provide you, the hard working entrepreneur, with all of the resources that are necessary to execute that big vision you have for the people you were called to serve. In this episode, we have the one and only Prince L. He's in the building, by the way, and he'll be talking about buy your time back with AI. What's going on, Prince? How are you doing today?
I am blessed and favored. Shay, thanks for having me on the show. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, man. Thanks for being part of the show, and thank you to audience. Thank you for tuning in. You have a lot of choices, and you choose to be with us. So we promise we'll make this a good use of your time. Before we get started, Prince, we're talking about buy back your time with AI. I guess before we can talk about what is AI, when you hear that phrase, here's the first question. You hear that phrase, buy back your time with AI. What do the average entrepreneur think?
Oh, I get to have some of my time back. Hopefully.
And
Yes,
take a moment to talk
sir.
about why is that so important to folks these days?
Well, there are a lot of people out here that have immense amount of genius, right? But their business lives in their head, you know, and they can use a lot of their energy to connect with their customers better by replacing the redundant tasks they are currently spending their energy on, that can be automated. And that allows them to scale their business instead of them being involved in every nook and cranny of their business, especially as the solo entrepreneur.
And so a number of business owners these days, they feel overwhelmed. They're like, do I
Hmm.
have to learn something new? And to the person that's
Hmm.
saying, does he understand how much I got already going on in my plate? Now he wants me to learn another system to add to my business,
Hmm.
supposed to give me more time. What do you say to the person that's feeling so overwhelmed, but they know they need a better system, but they're a little hesitant to learn something new? And before you answer that question, for those folks who are saying, who is this person talking, Shay? I don't know this guy. We'll get into his backstory in a moment. We'll get into how famous he is in a moment. So just hold tight. All right. Talk about why should someone want to learn something new when they got so much going on now?
Hmm. So anything you do new, it's never hard as the first time you start. Think about working out. You ever took a long break from working out and try to get back into it? You start to feel that soreness and it makes you not want to go back. But if you stay consistent with it, what happens? You get strong over time. You start seeing them cuts in the muscles. It's the same thing with learning AI. I like the concept of micro learning, and that's learning a little bit at the time. There are many great videos on YouTube, and say you spend your daily commute to work and back to home listening to your favorite podcast on AI. They talk about integrations, they talk about the innovative systems you can introduce into your life, not only as an entrepreneur, but as a person to just overall make your life easier, right? So I would say, have faith in yourself, learn a little bit at a time, and it's about consistency. You don't have to get it all right now. And whenever you feel those stressful moments, take you a little break and then get back right at it.
Take a little break and then get right back at it. Take a moment for those folks that are meeting you for the first time. I think it's a good way to jump in and say, who is Prince Eli? What's his backstory, Shay? I'm in the kitchen cooking. I don't know this person. I like what I'm hearing.
Mhm.
Sound like he can help me, but I don't know who in the LL Cool J this person is. Fair question. So take a moment. What's your backstory, man? Who are you? And what led you to doing what you're doing now?
Okay, well, I am Prince L. I'm a retired professional athlete. I'm a philanthropist, and I am the Chief Operational Officer of the Zanis Group, which is a project management office that specializes in system implementation, AI integrations, and scaling businesses past six figures.
And how did you get started in the athletic world? Take a moment to talk about that, please.
Yes, well, my father was my main motivator. Played football since I was 5 years old. Have plenty of accolades at every level from little league football to high school to college, and I play professionally as well for the Arizona Cardinals, the Jacksonville Jaguars, and I even played in Canada for a little bit with the BC Lions.
And
Yeah.
you've had a chance to play professional football. You've had a chance to be a
Mhm.
business owner, and now you're helping people grow
Mhm.
their business. What lessons have you learned from the sports world that you're able to apply in the business world?
I'm glad you asked that. So, just a little story. I had a time where I was just going off of my talent when I was playing college football. I had a coach sit me to the side. He was like, "Hey, man, you have all the talent in the world, but I don't see you put in the extra work." Now, by extra work, he was talking about extra time in the weight room, extra time in film study, and extra time just around my team so that we can curate that bond that allows us to play at our best abilities, right? And when I took, now again, got a little emotional when he first told me that, right? But when I got out of my emotions and I really thought about what he said, I was like, you know what? He may be right about that. And you would have it. The same year, I was a first team all conference, got all kind of awards like what was it? Touchdown Club of Columbus, Defensive Player to Watch, Ted Hendricks Award watch list. That's the best defensive end in college football, you know. And I had Dean's List honors the same year, right? So academically I performed and as an athlete I performed. And I take those same elements to the professional world. If you plan correctly, if you strategize, if you communicate, if you organize, that increases your chances of project success and success overall. A lot of people don't know this, Che, but 80% of projects fail. Do you know why that is?
Why?
A lack of project governance. A lot of entrepreneurs, they have the vision, but they don't know necessarily how to execute. And that's where the Zanis Group comes in at. From developing systems to outlining and mapping workflows to showing you how you can integrate AI into those workflows to automate the redundant tasks. And just to give you a visual, if you don't understand what none of that means, imagine one person with the ability to execute what 10 people can execute. You can do that when you integrate AI correctly and properly into your infrastructure.
Take a moment and talk about integrating it into your business structure. I think the example was spot on, but there's some folks that might be thinking, okay, AI is so broad, Shay. I use it to type
Hmm.
in a few emails and do a few things, help me write a few things up. But it's much
Hmm.
broader than that. So can we slow down for those folks that are out there and saying, you know what? He keeps saying use it in my business. Can I use it to
Uh-huh.
hire people? Am I using it just to check my
Yes,
email?
can.
Because I'm doing that already. I'm using to check my email.
Hmm.
Do I use it just to write
Hmm.
an email? No, no. There's many ways you can integrate it into your business, even answering your phone. So can you take a moment to slow down and maybe list one or two or three ways specifically that someone can integrate AI and build it? And that's something I know your company does as well.
Yes, sir. So I'll start with some of the simplest ways. Email replies. There are ways that you can configure specific AIs to automatically reply to emails and not using the information from the internet, but your internal documents and your internal workflows. So it will be doing it from the perspective of somebody that's working for your company. And you can do it from the perspective of where it might not automatically send to them. So you have that extra layer to actually evaluate the work and it'll save it right in your drafts for you. And you can have AI search the workflows and the map of your business and let you know where there might be a crack within it. You could use AI to create you intake forms that gives you uh, a higher level of visibility into what the potential customer may be looking for so that you can spend less time searching yourself what the customer may be interested in, and that allows you more of a focused time and energy on that particular customer with less time, but they will feel so seen when you're able to pinpoint exactly what they're looking for. There are automations, so an example of a workflow would be uh, email, customer intake, qualification, and then follow up, right? there are AIs that can automate that entire process to where you wouldn't have to do anything. It will schedule the time to meet and everything. The only thing you would have to do was literally speak with that customer to finalize whatever proposition or service or product you might have as an entrepreneur or a business owner.
That is spot on, man. Thanks for sharing. What a breakthrough that can create for anyone's business that's watching right now. Take a moment because I think it's a good segue to a segment we have here called Today is My January 1st. Now, for those folks who tune in every night at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, they're waiting to hear this, and you might be wondering, wow, today is my January 1st. Yeah, I wait to say that every night. You can go ahead and say it. Today is my January 1st. Happy New Year to you. For all the other folks who are
That's
joining us
awesome.
for the very first time, welcome to the Happy Entrepreneur Show. Today is my January 1st is our personal mantra at the Happy Entrepreneur Show. It represents a fresh start. It represents a do-over. It means our past, no matter how dark and gloomy that past is or how bright and sunny that past is, the past really no longer equals the future. And so my question for Prince on the other side is really twofold. Number one, just when you hear the words, today is my January 1st, what do you even hear? And number two, well, was there ever a time you had a setback? Seems like his life's been perfect so far, ladies and gentlemen. He's had no problems. He goes in school, goes and plays ball, comes out, starts a business. So the question the audience really is curious about is when was the time you had a setback, man? Things didn't work out the way you wanted them to. And how were you able to personally just bounce back from it? If your life's been perfect, just say, Shay, my life's been perfect. I don't have anything to say. And that's fine too.
Definitely, my life has not been perfect, through adversity. And I got to give it to my family for my upbringing. They never let me quit on anything in my life, so I literally don't know how to stop. I don't know how to quit. All I know is to keep moving forward, no matter how I feel, no matter how depressing life might seem at the moment, no matter what situation I might find myself in. So I'm going to answer first your first question. You said, "What does it's my January 1st? What did that
Today
mean
is
to
my
me?"
January 1st. What does that
Today
mean
is
when you
my
hear those
January
words?
1st. Yes, to me that means it's a new day. I can become a new version of me. Everybody always have they New Year's resolution. Oh, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. I actually believe every day you wake up, you get to become the best version of yourself. You don't have to go with the narrative of the character you've been telling yourself that you've been up until this point. You have the God given ability to transform in the very moment and decide who you want to become. So I would say that to me, it means, hey, it's a new day. I get to decide who I want to be today. That's one. Now, going back to when was a time where everything wasn't really working out and how did I persevere? When I stopped playing football, could you imagine doing something for, over 10, 15 years and then transit that becoming part of your identity? Everybody that's around you, city to city, state to state, country to country, that's what people know you for. Then you take this aspect, which is like you in your mind, you thinking it's like, oh, this is like 80% of my life. And you totally do away with that. And now you have to look toward new pursuits and decide how to go about it. A lot of athletes, there's not a lot of support outside of athletics, meaning there's not a lot of people giving you different avenues to ignite the different personalities you might have within yourself. There's nothing. People want you to stay focused on football, school. Until you get to the pro, then it's football, football, football. Maybe family after that, but mainly football, right? So when I had to transition from being an athlete, which I've done for, but 90% of my life, to what I like to call being a citizen, right? We call it re-entry into the civilian life. That was an interesting time for me, and I actually felt myself have a rebirth. And again, I want to remind you, I had no idea about AI at this time. I had no idea about system implementation at this time. So this was totally new. This was a total new realm of life that I was pursuing, and I like to highlight that because it's a lot of you entrepreneurs out there and you're like, man, this is a lot, it's moving fast, I don't know what to start with. I was there too, and that's why I told you, micro learn a little bit every day. right? Because it's not going anywhere, and it's actually starting to crank up even more with all of the different features that they're adding to AI. The capabilities are absolutely amazing, almost scary, right? And imagine that you have this in the palm of your hand, right? But you only know how to make a reply to an email when this is figuratively speaking, but it can build a house, but you only using it to reply to an email. You have literally a supercomputer in your hand, most times for $20 a month, right? That can make you thousands to hundred thousands to millions of dollars. AI has made me over six figures, literally, you know. And the more you learn how to use it, the easier it will become. What it takes you in your first, let's say, year of learning how to use AI, the next year it'll take 6 months. The next year after that, it might take three. The next year after that, it might take a week to execute that same momentum and that same progress. It's like compound interest, right? So yeah, that was one of the main things I overcame in my life, and I did that by consistency, having faith, staying on the path, having good people around me, and your environment is very crucial to your evolution as an entrepreneur and really as a person, right? They say if you want to go alone, if you want to go far, go alone. If you want to go further, go together. Right? That's an African proverb. But I digress there. Thank you for letting me get that
I love that, by the way. Spot on, said so well. One of my questions I like to ask when we have a few minutes, we got a few minutes now, is what's one of the best pieces of advice you've ever been given? Granted, you've had a lot of mentors along this journey of life. You have some sports mentors, some business mentors, some probably life mentors. You've read more
out.
books you can probably remember these days, by the way. You've had different coaches along the way. You've watched videos along the way. You've got AI these days as well. But if we can
100,
step back and say, Shay, here's one of the best pieces of advice that's been given to me that's helped me on this journey. I know it's kind of unfair, but what is it and why?
Please allow me to say two, because they're equally as important.
Sure, go ahead.
Stay, stay coachable, and never feel like you know it all. Those two pieces of advice has helped me immensely. Staying coachable, because you have to be adaptable. In society, as a human being, you have to be adaptable. As an entrepreneur that wants to be successful, you have to be adaptable. Why? Because your competition is, right? So, coachable. What was the other one I said? I just said it. Stay coachable.
Adaptable.
Uh, yeah, it was another one.
I heard stay coachable
Never
and
feel
stay and
like
be
you know it
adaptable.
all. It was never feel like you know got it all figured out,
That's what it is.
because that makes you closed off from learning. When you feel like you know it all, you miss opportunities. Imagine, you might not recognize you walk into an event room, right? Someone who you never met before introduces themselves, and they might have evaluated your game, and they want to give you some more game so you can go to the next level. But in your mind, you might be like, oh, I don't know who this person is. Oh, well, what he's wearing isn't that flashy. I'm just going to write him off. But this person can be literally a billionaire, teaching you how to become a multimillionaire. But because you feel like you know it all, you just closed off that entire experience. You closed off that entire timeline of possibility of being able to become the greatest version of yourself even faster than it might originally take. You know, and I just learned to be moldable in that fashion, and it has allowed me to stride leaps and bounds beyond my peers.
Wow. Said so well, by the way. Said so well. I love what you're doing. You have a heart to give and a heart to serve. You're one of the few folks I've had a chance to meet in person, by the way. Some people I never get a chance to meet. I only meet them through these fiber optic lines. And you and I met in Atlanta. I'm looking forward to connecting with you again in Atlanta.
Yes,
Take a
sir.
moment, if you would, as we come down the home stretch. Two-part question. Number one, what type of clients is your firm looking to work with these days? And number two,
Hmm.
how can folks connect with you? They're hearing about the Zanis Group. They're hearing about Build with AI. They're hearing about all the things they can do. So is there a website? What should anyone do that's watching now?
Yes, you can follow us at the zanisgroup.com. That is our website. We're on Instagram as well at the Zanis Group. You can connect with us in any of those avenues. Our phone number is 1-800-962-2804. And we work with anyone from the solo entrepreneur to enterprise organizations and everything in between. We have packages for everyone.
And give them the website one more time.
TheZanisGroup.com.
Love it. With that being said, thanks a lot for being on the show, man. Thanks for all that you do. I appreciate it. Can't wait to connect with you again real soon. Thanks for being here.
It's been a pleasure.
And thank you. Thank you to viewers. Thank you for tuning in, by the way, because without you, well, we don't have a show. And so I never get tired of reminding you every night at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, no matter what's going on in your life, whether you're doing really, really well and there's that next level of success, or you've been hit with the punch that you never saw coming. The one thing I do believe is that today is your January 1st. And because of just that one reason alone, I believe your best is still yet to come. Your best is yet to come. Your best is yet to come. That being said, my name is Shay Brown. I'm out. Peace, everybody. We'll see you, well, on the other side. God bless and keep doing God's work. Bye-bye.